Hey folks, John Ferguson Smart here. I want to spend a little bit of time looking at how you can integrate Serenity BDD and LambdaTest. LambdaTest is a tool that allows you to run tests in the cloud on different devices in different operating systems and to run them in parallel so that you can run your tests very, very quickly, even as your test suite scales. This is a really important thing to be able to do that as you grow your test suite, as it gets bigger, as you want to test across different environments and different contexts, so that you don't slow down your development and release process, and also so that you don't have to maintain your own Selenium grid, which is less expensive but much more of a hassle. So in this video, I want to walk you through how easy it is to set up Serenity BDD to run on, in this particular case, LambdaTest. So LambdaTest, you can see the URL here, lambdatest.com, is very easy to set up. If you want to give this a go, then you can go and set up a trial session and follow along if you like. Do this with your own tests. When you set up a test, so one thing you've got to remember is once you've set up your environment, you'll have a dashboard that looks a little bit like this one. And if you go to your profile section, there'll be a username and there'll also be an access token. Now remember those, we're going to need the username and the access token later on. So now let's take LambdaTest through its paces and see what it's capable of doing. I have a little test suite here, a Cucumber test suite. It's just got some very simple tests against an e-commerce application. And what I'm going to do is show you how to set this up with LambdaTest. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is to add the Serenity LambdaTest dependency, so Serenity LambdaTest plugin. This gives, you don't absolutely need it, but if you do, it will integrate much more smoothly. It will add links in your reports to the LambdaTest videos. It'll update the test results in LambdaTest more accurately. It will generally work better. So you want to add this dependency. That's all you need to do to add in terms of dependencies. The next thing you're going to need to do is to configure your browser. So this happens in the Serenity conf folder. In the Serenity conf file. In this file, we have the WebDriver section where we configure all of our WebDriver options. So you should be, if you've used Serenity before, you should be rather familiar with this. Now, the driver, we need to set this as remote because we're talking to a remote instance. Then we need to set the remote URL. Now, remember, I said we were going to use the username and the password. I've defined these in variables, system environment variables. So if I open up my console here and I go echo $LT username, I'll get the username we saw earlier on. Same thing for LT access key. Now, if we define these in our environment variables, then Serenity will pick them up automatically and will instantiate this remote URL for us. Then all we need to do is define this LT options section and give a platform name. We can give other options as well. We can give the versions of the drivers. We can give other options about whether we want videos, whether we want screenshots and so forth. But the main options are just what operating system you ought to run on. And once we've set this up, and you can see here the Chrome options, they stay exactly the same. So exactly the same Google Chrome setup for any other Serenity test. And now once we've done this, we can run our test and it will kick off from the point of view of our local test suite. It looks like any other test. It just kicks it off and runs it normally. We won't obviously have a browser that opens here because that is happening on the server. So let's go and have a look at what's happening here. So what we're going to have is this test suite here, LambdaTest demo. We can see that a few things are happening. We've got these tests. This one's passed, this one's running. You can see it's going through them quite quickly. So you can see here it's going one after the other. Now these are, I'm using Cucumber 7 and JUnit 4. So they are running sequentially. I'll do another video on running these in parallel, so you can leverage the parallel execution in LambdaTest. But for these ones, they're just sequential. I just wanted to show you the basic setup. And you see we're ticking through, getting through them all, and eventually, and you can see they're quite quick too. These are actually faster than I'd be seeing them locally, like 4, 5, 6 seconds for a test. That's pretty good. And so now I've completed all 7 tests. If I want to look in the details, you can see here it's Windows 10, just like we asked. It's got a video recorded, so what actually happened, so we can look into the details and watch what actually happened. We can even step through the video and see what's happening at different points, which is still pretty cool. And then, remember that Serenity plugin I told you about? If I create a Serenity report out of these, so Maven Serenity aggregate, and I'm going to open up those reports, then what will happen is you see we've got this little video icon. That's a link to the LambdaTest video, so I can actually go and click on this directly and play the recording. So we've got access from our Serenity reports to LambdaTest. We can also view the tests in the LambdaTest folder if we want. So we've got quite a few options. So that's a bit of an overview of LambdaTest. I hope this sort of makes it obvious just how easy it is to set up these tools in Serenity. So if you want to play around with distributed testing, definitely give LambdaTest a go and leave your comments just to tell me how you got on. Leave your comments and tell me how you found it. Okay, that's all for this time. Thanks for listening, folks.